Hi, Gemini. Thanks for stopping by. This is Mary with Seer. This is your second half of April 2020 reading. It's tarot and oracle cards. I have a mixed one here. And I have them all a mess. Interesting. So, I hope you're doing well. I'm sorry, my nose itches immediately. Oh, goodness. I hope you're doing well, and that you're able to keep a positive outlook during a lot of the fear that's being pushed on us. And it has been the whole time, but it seems like it's stepping up. Like the lines have been drawn, huh? Yeah. Okay, so this mountain just is like jumping out here. So we're going to take that one. So the thing about the mountain is it seems so big to climb, and it's terrifying. Look at this. Whatever it is that you're up against, Gemini. It feels terrifying. And how am I possibly going to conquer that mountain? Well, sometimes it's not about conquering the mountain. It's about conquering fear and going around it or taking another path. It doesn't have to be battling the resistance. Sorry. It can be going with the flow. So, so sorry. What we resist persists, right? Sorry. What we resist persists. So if we go with the flow and kind of go with the energy, say, why is this still here? This thing that I'm resisting. Sorry about that. I just want to clear my throat. So the thing that we're resisting, why is this still here? What do I still need to learn? And so, yeah. And if you were to take something with a light hand, right? Take it with a light hand, with grace and peace and not airy fairy stuff, but like story. Here comes the story. Okay. So like if you had somebody really close to you, like a sibling, pass away, and you didn't know because you guys hadn't talked in years, and then when you found out, I mean, you heard a rumor, but you hadn't talked to them, and you couldn't contact them for that because you just can't. The last time it was drawing the line between abuse and no abuse between them, and for your peace. And so do you walk in the eye of the storm, or do you let them go the way they lived, So do you face the mountain? Do you go into the resistance, or do you allow them to make their peace and move on the way they need to? Because they chose most of their life to be who they are in death. Excuse me. And so what is best for you? Because they always chose what was best for them, whether it was to your detriment or not, right? So they pass away, and you try to find your peace as your other relatives are coming at you angry with their own daggers. And we wonder where this person got it from, right? Okay. So finding peace in the chaos and choosing to do for yourself now because, well, we've done for enough people, right? Okay. yes, that is my story, and that's my sister. And I feel bad that I couldn't make peace, but we're making peace now because I can talk to the other side. And I always knew that I'd be able to, but nobody else knows that. And I don't have to explain anything to any other member of the family that doesn't see a bigger picture than their own anger, because that's what happened in the family, right? One of the things. So, next card. Feel the dream. So, if you imagine it, it's a way of building with the positive energy. If you build it, they will come. If you dream it, it will be. But you can't dream those good, wonderful, this is airy fairy stuff. This is happiness. It's really hard to be in a place of creation when you're in a place of chaos. You know, it's just not possible to be at both places in the same time. That's why there's energies that want to control us because they keep us from our happiness. And when we're in our happiness, then we can create anything. 21, this is 21, which is also a 3. It's about manifestation, building things. It's about working with other people, working with other energies. But do we want to keep hitting the same wall that we've been hitting the whole time? Or do we see beyond that and understand that we have a choice to take another path? It's our path. You know, if you choose to accept that mission, right? So sorry. Throat chakra stuff. Things that need to be spoken. You know, and when confronted with things, as a Gemini, it's really easy for us to tell people off, but then we get in a lower vibration, and then we have to come back up from that. So when we're in the lower vibration, it's hard to dream, it's hard to manifest. And so if there's more than this life, a lot of us know there's more than this life, right? Then we have an opportunity at other times to change things. But sometimes it's just understanding that somebody may never understand that other people may not understand who you are. And we won't understand who they are because they have a right to be who they are. That's just a lot of repetition. But it's a lot of repetition, right? Ooh, that was weird. So, and this is great. This is White Witch. This is Be the Light. So as a White Witch, you get a lot of downloads. And this is kind of in training to be like a shaman or something, right? This is the beginning of the training. So you're receiving downloads, receiving knowledge. And the White Witch, it's always this, so it's like the beginning of the education of being very spiritual, okay, the shaman. And as a White Witch, you get information, but we need to be careful. We don't need to be anything, but we can choose. It's best to be careful of how we judge others, okay? And so taking the high road would be not to engage. And this card is about taking the high road, which is interesting because I was just saying that before I pulled the card. And I love when that happens. And so taking the high road, being okay. We may never convince them, but many will see. They will understand. If not in this life, they'll understand it in death, after this life. Because we go back to source and we see things there. We understand things as soon as we start crossing over, we see things. And the things that happen here, like the animosity and all that, it doesn't matter anymore. That's just like a 3D thing. Other things matter. I mean, what you do here matters. but it's like the lower vibrations don't. I don't know, it's just not the same when you cross over to the other side, when you're crossing over. But they are what keeps us bound and what creates the karma, you know. And I know some things, but I don't have all those answers because they might be different for other people. Probably rambling way too much for you. So these are major arcanas. I'm just really taking it slow because there's this grand distraction. Okay, this is my opinion. Of love and exes and all this crap. There's this grand distraction of who's right and who's wrong instead of what should we be working on. And with a lot of the tarot readers, and I'm not like, I know people look for things, but there's a lot of us that just don't. I mean, I know everything serves, and don't get me wrong, you know, but we need more. I think we just need more people that really focus on is really our situations if we're not confused about love. You know, if we go, look, I want to work on myself, and then I won't be confused about love. In fact, I'm not confused about love. I just need to work on my spiritual issues, my growing, my energy, more than just who's dating who and who's cheating on who. It's more than that. It's more than comparing ourselves with others, right? Okay, so this is Gaia. This is 21. This is reversed. This is just major arcana dragon cards. So this is about learning the lesson. I mean, this is not repeating the same cycles. So if we jump from one relationship to another, one anger to another, one mountain to another that we're pushing up against, one argument to another, we're not really learning anything except how to argue and how to have more chaos. So if we say, why is this happening? How can I change it? How can I feel better every day? How can I increase my energy? How can I be healthier? How can I connect to, you know, to Gaia or to spirit and connect both? How can I be a better example? How can I be nice to myself? How can I have peace? Those are the questions that me personally, as Mary, Sayre, Seer, think some of us, maybe it's something to consider asking than just, what's my ex doing, you know? And if you're listening to me, to this reading, you're probably not on that, but it just gets a little exhausting watching people run around in circles, you know? And then there's like, where are all the rest of the people? Anyway, I follow my inner guidance. This is the Amente Oracle cards. And this is true. Following your inner guidance. Being the white witch, you know. But taking the high road means not engaging in like, I can't. No, some of the other readings when they talk about relationships, that's all and great. But if I hear about my ex coming back one more time, I'm just going to scream. I mean, if that person wants to try and come back, that's great. But can we look at something else? I mean, following my inner guidance says, if I focus on that, I'm going to feel like I have lack. And I know I don't have lack. And I know I'm worthy and if somebody can't see that, then, you know, then that's great. They can do whatever they got to do. But I'm not here waiting for them. And these readings come, you know, I mean, it's like, I'm not taking it personally, but it's kind of exhausting watching the world spin around and some of it not just growing. It's hard. So, now Gemini, very intellectual, you know, smarter than the average bear. I'm not saying other people are smart, but it's in a different way. We're all smart in a different way. But I don't know if you're waiting for the world to catch up with you, but it will happen. In the meantime, we get to follow our inner guidance. We get to take the high road. We get to go with the flow. We get to create because we know it's going to come. And we're in the front line, man. We're in the front creating this stuff for the rest of the people. You know, we're ahead. We're ahead. And that is something in the place where you feel like you're not connecting, that it's when you're the one setting the pace, there will be followers and they won't be happy that the change is coming. And they'll blame you sometimes. But being strong and knowing who you are, following your inner guidance, and not allowing those lower energies to take you down, because that's what they're there for. Just to stop us and keep us from this great spiritual growth that's going on and the change that's going on. So, that was a lot. I'm not going to expand on these in particular. We're just going to pull some cards and tell some more of the story. It's so much bigger than who am I going to need? Who am I going to meet tomorrow? Because we know we're going to meet people. We know we're going to have people that are attracted to us. And you know, if you're at this place, you know that the love you have is looking for you. And if it's meant for you, it'll be there. That's it. You don't have to force that stuff because you're bigger than that now. You've grown. Because you're complete in yourself, Gemini. Because you're complete in yourself. A little resistant, but complete. I don't know, maybe it's the world's resistance, but it's not the easiest place to be an empath. And, you know, right now with all this stuff going, protecting your energy is really important. 6 of Pentacles, because there's this is lack of reciprocity. It's financial loss. There's a lot of financial loss right now. Things don't seem like they're fair. But in times of change, I mean, you know what, Gemini? Things haven't been fair for a long time, have they? Yeah. So, whatever. It's like, this has been going on for a long time. But we see the change. We know there's change coming. And nobody on TV, radio, whatever, is going to tell me that it's not going to be good, because we've done too much work with the energy to allow this not to go the right way. It's going to go the right way. 3 of Cups. And there's going to be celebrations, you know. This is celebration, but this is also about not celebrating too soon. And to be careful with overindulgence too. Don't, you know, during the time you have the time, be careful with your energy and your emotions. You know, keeping things in balance, knowing there will be this celebration, but overindulgence and gossip can ensue if we do too much celebrating now. Yeah. 2 cups flowing into 1 cup, overflowing. I don't know what this third party thing it's just so prevalent. I need to address it. I need to talk about it because it's all over this card. And 3 women. Women turn on each other, huh? And yeah, they do. So there's something about that is not, you know, it's like it's a choice to take things personally when other people overindulge and you're affected by it. It was never about you. It was about them and what they're not. They just asked me to focus in on that. So the next one is 5 of Wands reversed. And This is getting past the competition, that not competing, not being a part of this competition, or lies. Okay, 5 of Wands reversed. Nope, not going to engage. It's exactly the right way to do, because the more you engage, the more you get sucked into that other vibration, and it's hard to see things. If you're angry, it's not a place of creation. Resentment, Knight of Cups is this energy has nothing to offer. The competitive, vindictive, jealous energy has nothing to offer. So not offering any emotion into this is the best way to go. This is Page of Cups reversed. No offer of emotion, no apologies, and not apologizing for, not waiting for apologies. Oh, that's over. That's over. Because if we're waiting for apology, we're being tied to whatever it was we're waiting for. So we need to release that. That's why a lot of the X readings that are in almost every Gemini reading, oh my gosh, it doesn't matter, does it? Not if you have power. That person coming back, that's not my problem. They feel like they need to come back. That's whatever. Whatever. Of course, they're going to come back because Geminis are amazing. A Gemini in their power, it is an amazing person, and it scares people. And they do things to try to undermine other people, and they do it a lot to Geminis. Par for course. Get in line, because there's a whole bunch of people coming back, Gemini. We know that. But we can't hang our laurels or happiness or whatever on it, on this energy, because it just doesn't serve. It doesn't serve. Here's the 5 of Swords. Oh, it's a fight for ego, over ego. So past that. I was fighting on my ego so long ago. And we've got time for that. See, you can't wait for apologies from this kind of energy. It's a waste of time. And it doesn't mean that you didn't love them, or who knows how they felt? Who really knows? Because people that have really self-love don't do this stuff. They don't even know who they are. Because they would be better to themselves if they knew their value. But they obviously don't know yours. But as you go along your own awakening, you see how some of this is just distractions to keep you from your real power, which is scary to people, and they don't like it. And whether their lower energies are getting all triggered, probably, yeah, yep. But they're also engaging in, whenever we're engaging in behaviors that lower our energy, we get triggered, huh? Even Geminis, everybody does. So this may be coming at you a lot. It may be coming at you to get resolved, probably. I think that this past energy, wanting to come back, and this wishy-washy, this whole twin flame thing. I know that we have ties to people, but it can't stop us. We can't allow it to stop us. And I think what ends up being, Gemini, is like an unconditional love that you just go, yeah, so what? So what? It was obvious this person had problems, because if you were in your power and you had to walk away just so you could have your sanity, then the person had problems. And it was about them. I'm not saying that we're perfect. We know we're not. Nobody's perfect, but to engage in that, then we're hurting ourselves. And so that's the realization that we can choose different. Even if we have twin flame, whatever you want to call it, connection, it's still a choice to be miserable. Still a choice, right? So I can be happy, and while I'm leveling up and waiting for the rest of the world to catch up so I can have a decent relationship. but knowing I'm worth the time. Knowing you're worth the time, Gemini. Okay? In the meantime, getting your ducks in order, getting your finances in order, making making yourself complete in your mind, body, and soul. Okay. I'm going to do a few of these cards, and I'm just kind of doing it free form because this is just different, you know. So following your inner guidance, Gemini, just means get this stuff taken care of, because there's things that we need to be doing, you know? Enough of this nonsense. Just nonsense. Because Gemini, I mean, there's a lot of Geminis that don't want to be, you know, they're not this child anymore. Like the child of the zodiac. Gemini is growing up here. And they're tired of it. You know, watching other people stay where they are, because the sign of Gemini is about change, you know, because we're changeable. Duh. Anyway, so here you go. Arise from the ashes of despair. The past is the past, so what? In the end, we might find that we were the lucky ones because we could see where others couldn't. That we were the lucky ones that we could change and others couldn't. That we were the lucky ones because we didn't wait for other people to come back. We just kept moving on. So, if they feel they need to come back, great. Whatever. See you when you get there, if you get there. And that doesn't mean we're going to go back. That doesn't mean anything. They'll catch us. It doesn't mean anything. It's just an energy, right? It's just an energy. So, arising from the ashes of despair is about being the phoenix, stronger than ever. Nothing breaks you, Gemini. Nothing can. Because it's about our soul. It's about our spirit, right? Weave your own destiny. Whose life is this, Gemini? So, that's a really beautiful reading. And sorry about my weird mood, but it just... Wow. I'm a Gemini too, so I hope you understand. With my own destiny. Yeah, okay, so let me go back to this. She has yarn. So she has yarn on this pole, you know, old-fashioned way they used to do yarn, right? And she also is blue. It's like communication. Blue is the throat chakra. And there's also planets right here. So weaving, what we weave in our world, in our world, creates a world around us. So weaving communication, honesty, integrity, everyday stuff to keep you centered. So it's about, see, the yarn on this reminds me of what you reap what you sow, but it's also everyday actions, because yarn is simple. It's simple. Everyday actions are simple. How we live our day, every day, is simple. What we create. But when we have peace, then we can dream, and we can dream something better. And it comes back to us, to our world, not what's going on outside there. Other people's chaos trying to come in, we don't have to do anything, but we can choose to let them keep their own chaos. We don't have to take that on, Gemini. It doesn't matter how much we love them. We are doing them a disservice if we take on their energy and don't allow them, give it back to them. Just, sorry, I can't do that right now. Avoiding that phone call. Let them be frustrated. Let them be mad. And becoming your own sovereign. And you know, it's just really cool how these readings go. This is being your own island. And that doesn't mean out in the middle of nowhere, where. No, that means you're complete who you are. You're learning to become complete who you are. And your opinions matter. But tapping into your higher self and spirit and your angels and ancestors, guides, and knowledge, the universe, Gaia, that you, and this is purple is spirit, you know, you filling your own cup, you being complete with both sides of you. And this is like, see that picture? It's got two rings intertwined. It kind of looks like a bride. It's kind of like marrying that part of yourself. So the light and the dark, the feminine and the masculine, Gemini. So we're not looking for that in someone else because we're complete. So we can't be manipulated. It's not an option. There's nowhere to manipulate because there's no more weakness. There's no more doubt. It's being honest with who you are, walking in your integrity. These other energies that used to be able to get a hold on it, there's no room for it. We're not going to be caught in the same old traps. We'll see it coming. We'll feel it coming. So, and that's a beautiful thing, right, Gemini? All right. Love you lots. Let me know what you think. I know. All right. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.